Guys, NerdKi here. So, what if Vegeta stayed evil? We're gonna find out today. So, in the episode of Dragon Ball Z called Namex Explosion, Goku's End, and Vegeta's fighting Gohan, and then Piccolo kind of steps in to stop it before Vegeta kills Gohan. So Vegeta flies away, and you'd think, well, that's it for him. He'll be back to just kill them all eventually. He'll be back to kill all the Z fighters and all the Namekians if they're still there. But then there's like a change in the next episode, the way things went in the next episode. So in the following episode, Goku's alive. Vegeta was still there. He was just sitting by a tree like nothing happened. So it's clear they wanted to make a change. They wanted Vegeta to eventually be one of the good guys and not just continue his villainous ways. So that from one episode to another, you could kind of see, and then he talks to Bulma, or Bulma talks to him, invites him to stay at Capsule Corp, and all that. So let's just say in this scenario that never happened. That he just flew away and never really came back, or well, maybe later came back. So in other words, Bulma or Vegeta and Bulma would never get together, and we're gonna see how that plays out right now. Let's get this started. So Vegeta flees and masks his ki. He flies around for a bit before spotting Dr. Brief's Capsule Corp spacecraft unattended. He steals it and blasts off into space. While finding off remnants of the Frieza Force, Vegeta considered going back to Earth to at least get a decent fight from the Z fighters. That's when he began to sense a familiar ki. It was Goku, and Vegeta could sense that he was stronger than ever. Vegeta had certainly grown stronger as well, but he was yet to reach the level of a Super Saiyan. He contemplated landing his ship to challenge Goku. In fact, with his pride getting the better of him, he says, "Screw it," as he lands the ship on the planet Yardrat. Goku, who was meditating at the time, opens his eyes as Vegeta approached. "So, Kakarot, fulfilling the legend of our Saiyan race wasn't enough for you. Now you're training to get even stronger? Why, Frieza is dead." Goku sighs as he replied, "Frieza isn't dead. He's alive." Vegeta grabs him by the puffy collar of his shirt he was wearing. "You mean to tell me you spared the heartless bastard to destroy our homeworld and many others?" Vegeta was filled with anger, and Goku had to grab his hands and push him away. "Listen, Vegeta, I know how you feel, but I gave it all I had, really. And you still survived, even when Namek exploded." Vegeta didn't want to hear it, and his anger flared even more. "No more excuses, Kakarot. No more. No more." Goku was shocked as he saw Vegeta get so enraged that he glowed the same glow he himself can achieve when transformed into a Super Saiyan. The prince had at last become a Super Saiyan. Before Goku could transform, Vegeta attacked with a fist to the jaw that sent him flying backwards. As Goku's feet found the ground, Vegeta relentlessly attacked with a series of strikes that Goku narrowly avoided. Fed up, Goku pushed Vegeta back with his ki, and then powering up, became a Super Saiyan. "There it is, finally show me your true power. Power of the Saiyan of legend," says Vegeta. "Look, Vegeta, I don't want to hurt you, but I wouldn't mind having you as a sparring partner. So how about it?" Vegeta is caught off guard by this, as he replied, "Sparring partner? Do you take me for a fool? I'm going to get my revenge by killing you, then Frieza." As Goku struck with a powerful kick, Vegeta blocked it with his hand. "So that's it, huh? I can understand being angry at Frieza for destroying our home planet and everything else that he's done to you, but you're really still sore about how our fight ended on Earth? Well, I don't hold a grudge against you, despite everything you and that big burly Saiyan did to me and my friends on Earth," says Goku, as he throws a ki blast at Vegeta at close range that Vegeta bats away with his free hand. Two Saiyans flip backwards and each land on their feet. "And that's the problem, Kakarot. How a low-class warrior like you can not only surpass the super elite such as myself, but take pity on me like I'm somehow beneath you." Vegeta fires out multiple ki blasts just as Goku launches himself toward the prince. Goku couldn't dodge in time, so he crossed his arms and stopped himself in mid-flight as the ki blast homed in on him. "Aye, the Prince of all Saiyans will not be humiliated like that again. I will surpass you and then make you learn your place, says Vegeta. Goku was getting overwhelmed by the barrage of blasts, and he couldn't evade any of them. He glanced behind him to see that he was getting pushed back into the river. Instead of fighting it, Goku let himself be pushed into the flowing water. Vegeta failed to notice even as he ended his flurry with a single concentrated ball of energy that crashed into the river, causing the river to rise like a giant wave. From behind this wave, Goku appeared and he had gathered a great amount of ki for a Kamehameha that he fired at a shocked Vegeta. The prince had no time to gather enough ki and instead caught the ball with his hands. Goku, using all of his power, pushed hard to force him back, but Vegeta held firm. Vegeta then poured his own ki into the Kamehameha and tried pushing it back to its owner. Goku struggled to hold it back, and Vegeta couldn't push the massive amount of ki any further. It was a stalemate. Alright, that's enough, Goku, and guest, said a strange voice belonging to one of the locals. Goku and Vegeta both turned as their energy clash suddenly ended, as the Kamehameha suddenly dispersed into tiny flecks that danced in the air. The tall, heavy-set, light blue-skinned alien approached and got between them. All that power from just a couple of lessons? And also having a friend that's equal parts amazing? Color me impressed. Friend? What? Kakarot? Just who the hell is this guy? Oh, him? His name is Paibara. He's really strong and has been teaching me some really cool techniques. Well, one in particular, instant transmission. Goku goes on to show Vegeta the technique while explaining how to do it. Vegeta quickly figures out how to do the technique, surprising Goku and especially Paibara, who stroked his chin and pondered. Wow, Vegeta, it took me a whole month before I got instant transmission down. You're really something, says Goku. At this point, Goku had powered down, but Vegeta hadn't figured that part out just yet and remained a Super Saiyan. Goku explained how to do that too, and Vegeta, not as angry now, let himself go to base form. You two really are impressive, learning my technique in such a short time, especially the newcomer, Mr. Vegeta, Prince Vegeta of all Saiyans. Well, Prince Vegeta, welcome to Planet Yardrat, where our people may not be as physically strong as you Saiyans, but our special techniques involving spirit control can defeat any foe, no matter how powerful. There's one technique in particular that even Goku had trouble learning. The Paibara was cut off as he and Goku both sensed two massive power levels that were headed past Yardrat. Vegeta sensed them too. He recognized one of them in particular. Frieza, says Goku, and someone else just as strong. This is bad. I have to go. I'm sure they're headed to Earth looking for me. I have to stop them. Paibara nods and says, I understand, Goku. Go save your planet. Goku nods back and turns to Vegeta. Sorry to put our fight on hold, but this is important. You're free to come along and help me. I'll sure need it. Vegeta scoffs and responds, Me? Help you? No thanks. I think I'll stay here. I'm sure one Super Saiyan should be enough to handle Frieza and the other one. Goku had no time to argue and left in the Guinea Force ship they arrived in. Vegeta simply smirked as he left and thought, well, at least one of my enemies will be dead soon. This makes things easier. He then turns to Paibara and says, Now, teach me the technique that was too much for Kakarot. As Goku heads to Earth to intercept Frieza and King Cold, Vegeta trains with Paibara and eventually learns Spirit Force Fission technique after just 1 month. The technique allows the user to separate energy that was either absorbed and can even undo 2 or more people that were fused together, but only if the user does damage to them first. Goku would kill Frieza and King Cold. In this scenario, Trunks would have never been born, so there wouldn't be anyone from the future timeline to warn the Z-Fighters about the upcoming androids. After things had settled down on Earth, 3 months after Frieza and King Cold's defeat, Vegeta was ready to head to Earth to confront his rival. But Goku had been preparing as well. He trained in Dr. Brief's gravity room at 300 times Earth's normal gravity. As Vegeta was descending on planet Earth, he couldn't help but grin after sensing Goku raise his power level. So, Kakarot, you want me to come to you? Fine by me. But first, I need to make a stop to see the Green Man. Vegeta lands and heads to a wasteland area, where sure enough, Piccolo was there doing some image training. Well, Green Man, it's been a while. It doesn't appear you've gotten much stronger, though. Pity. Then the Namekian opens his eyes as he says, "You may be right, but that doesn't mean I'll go down easy." Piccolo removes his cape and turban and gets into a defensive stance. The next thing he knew, Vegeta's boot was in his gut. The Namekian groaned in pain as he dropped to his knees. If that wasn't enough, Piccolo suddenly felt a great amount of ki being sapped from him. The fusion between Nail and himself had been severed by Vegeta's Spirit Force Physion. The two Namekians looked in shock at one another, then back to their opponent. "Your little Namekian fusion is no more thanks to my newly acquired technique, Spirit Force Physion, which separates absorbed or fused ki, but that's not all." Suddenly, the ki from both of them that made the combined pair so powerful is being led over and absorbed by Vegeta. The prince smiled at his new powered-up presence. Overflowing with power, he strikes Nail with a blow to the head, and then he punches Piccolo right through the gut. As the Namekian is bleeding out, he says his final words. "Goku is our last hope." Vegeta smirked as he unleashed much of his ki, but not too much, as he wants to save it for his rematch with Goku. He blasts Piccolo to bits. With the death of Piccolo, Kami also dies, and the Dragon Balls lose their power and become nothing more than ordinary stones. Vegeta collects himself to think over his decision. With the Dragon Balls, he could have gained immortality and would have no trouble defeating Goku and anyone else. But as a Saiyan, he was thrilled at the challenge and smiled, raising his power level to get his attention. It only took a moment before Goku sensed Vegeta's energy and teleported to his location using instant transmission. The final battle between the two Super Saiyans was about to take place, but just who will emerge victorious? Find out next time on NerdKi. Alright guys, that's the end of part 1 of this what if scenario of what if Vegeta stayed evil. Stay tuned in the next video for part 2. Thanks for watching.